We are Mariah and Colby. We drove across country from Florida to San Carlos, Mexico with our two cats, Namiria and Teak. We are coming back for another cruising season in the Sea of Cortez on our sailboat Tigerlily. We hope you'll follow along and subscribe! You are stuck with me today. We are starting to can. I've got some jars, the first set of jars that we will be using. And the first recipe that I'm gonna be doing is our favorite Thai hot and sweet dipping sauce. We use this sauce for our rice paper rolls. We like to do rice paper rolls with like carrots and bell peppers and stuff, and then I make this to dip it in, and it's so good. So gonna be making 5 jars of that and everything that I'm making today is out of the Ball home canning book. Love this book, use it for so much. It's really good. Highly recommend if you want to can, have been curious about canning.
Another day in the shipyard. Yesterday we took all the chain plates that I took off and brought them to a machine shop where they're going to make new ones. He's going to start on it later this week. Today's Tuesday, so maybe next week I'll have them, maybe. But since the chain plates are off, now is the time to start removing teak decking, which is our next project. Yesterday I started on it. I'll show you what I got so far, but I'm gonna have you do the rest with me. Each one of these screws I have to take out. The issue is some of the screws, I think they're brass maybe, and some of the screws just kind of snap because they've been corroded or they're just old. I've probably done at least over 200 screws so far, and I haven't even done a full one side of the deck, so there's a long ways to keep going. Up a few pieces just to see what it looks like underneath and how I'm going to clean it. Let's see, each screw hole, gotta take each screw out, and it's taken me 2 days to do just the port side, and it's going to take me 2 days to do the starboard side. It's 4:30, quitting time. I didn't get that far. I got all the way to right there. And I got the rest of that to do. Start that in the morning. If I work hard and diligently, don't have interruptions, I might be able to get it done tomorrow, maybe, but probably not. One thing always to watch out for when driving Mexico: speed bumps on main roads. At home, finally, I'm tired. I've had a beer already. I'm on my second one, and I got the grill started, and baked potatoes and hot dogs because why not? And broccoli.
Good morning. I'm on the boat today, and I'm gonna help hopefully this process go a little bit faster. I'm gonna try and pop the little
Bung?
the bung holes.
Pop the bungs out of the bung holes?
Yeah, pop the bung holes. And then he can go behind me and drill them out.
I can drill out the bung holes.
Yeah, he can drill the bung holes out.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that goes a little bit faster.
Let's see.
You're also running out of memory, so hopefully you get to see anything today.
It's lunchtime. Mariah has helped me a lot and taken the bungs out of the bung holes for me, and I'm actually making a lot faster progress. I wish I would have asked her to do this a couple days ago, but that's okay. Anyway, we're gonna break for lunch. I got some other stuff done. I got the windlass taken off and the cleats unbolted up there, just in preparation for fiberglassing. There's quite a bit more prep to do, but my goal is to see, today's Thursday, is the last half of Friday and the half day on Saturday, which we'll be pulling up teak, is my hope. It's the end of day number 4 of teak removal. I got to, well, you can see where I left my tools, and there's only this back to there, so there's not much left. It's almost 4:30. I'm gonna clean up for night and call it a night. Day 5 of the process of taking off the teak. I'm gonna finish up this kind of aft starboard side of taking out all the screws, and then I've got to go through and kind of figure out where to take some stuff off, because there's a few parts that when they get bolted down, I don't want them bolted straight to the deck. I want them lifted a little bit. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to go to Home Depot and get some plywood to do that. But there's one spot where I don't really think, well, I don't know, there's up on the bow where I have to kind of cut away a lip, because I think I might fiberglass in some of the teak that's up on the bow where the bow roller stem goes. Maybe I'll take it off still and just make a new piece out of plywood and fiberglass it in instead. I'm not entirely sure. All places that are getting the teak off, they need all the hardware off. Like the stanchion braces where they bolt to the deck. Those are straight on, they're not on a lip, they're straight onto the teak deck, which means I gotta take them off, and then I'm gonna have to get, like I said, a piece of plywood and fiberglass it in to lift it up enough so that they go back in the same spot. So there's things to figure out today. Let's get started and get the last of these screws out, because I'm so tired of doing it. All the bungs are taken out of there. Starboard side is done, port side is done. Now I gotta take sail tracks off, which I gotta take apart a bunch of the overhead inside in order to do that. So let's get started on that. At least it's inside, out of the sun. Take this overhead off. In order to take this overhead off, this whole shelf has to come out. And of course, I made that as difficult as possible. Cabinet's down. It's a little dirty. I'll clean this up after I, do all the things. But now I gotta take this overhead down, which is pretty easy now that everything's down. All the electronics kind of jumbled right there, but everything's still all connected. I didn't have to disconnect anything. It's just unmounted. So let's get to taking this overhead down. All right, now with the overhead down, I can get to all those bolts that hold in the sail track. Well, today is Saturday, and this morning I did a little bit of removal of the teak from the deck because we got all the screws out and that's done. But I'm kind of calling it done for this weekend on that, just because I need to have a break from the deck because I've been on my hands and knees all week long doing that, and it's very tiring. And I wanna change it up just a little bit before I get back to it. So this weekend is dedicated to making a new mizzen sail, which I'm very excited about. I've already kind of started a little bit of the project. I'm sewing those pieces together. It got a little windy and blew some stuff around, but you can see here I've got that sewn together. So there's a couple things. For those of you that don't know, this is a sail kit that comes from Sailrite, and they basically supply all the materials you need. The thread, the needles, the instructions, the battens, everything you can think of for making a sail, and the instructions are great. And so that's what I'm doing. But since it's not really a large sail, but it's going to be easier to do it now, is sew on the batten pockets. So right now I'm tracing out the batten pockets to cut out and to go ahead and start sewing on the sails. So once I get those cut out, then we'll actually start sewing, and I'm very excited. Batten holder is sewed in place. I just test fit a batten in there just to see. Unfortunately, the ground I'm working on is kind of dirty, so it's hard to keep this white sailcloth really white. But anyway, I got that on. Now I'm going to sew the head strengthening points on here, and yeah, then this section will be done. And then I just got to do the same thing to the rest of the section. This is not an instructional video. Mariah and I both are noobs at sailing, but noobs at sewing altogether. And this is actually the biggest sewing project I have done by a long shot, The instructions from Sailrite are awesome. The sewing machine is awesome. It takes me longer probably than most people to sew it, just because I'm kind of double checking myself. But yeah, just keep that FYI. Never sewed a sail before. This is our first time, and never really sewed anything else before. Also first time. So first. 2 cherries popped in the same swing. So we have our patch here that's all basted together. I've kind of traced out lines here so I can see where the edges meet. And now I've got to sew it onto that guy. So I'm going to baste it down onto there, get the sewing machine set back up, and start sewing. Alright, the patch is sewn on there. It's not the prettiest sew I've ever done. Actually, it is, because I've never done it before. I might try and do one more section today. That'll be it for today, probably. I didn't film as much towards the later half there, but it's evening now. I'm running out of light. I'm kind of packing up for the day and cleaning up my mess. I got a lot done. I packed up, put it all in the car for tonight, just because I don't want it in the house with the cats, because I know them. Any new material, they'll want to scratch it. I got the head on there. I have one more batten sleeve to put in, batten pocket. Tomorrow I have the reef points to put in, and the bottom patches. And then I sew the whole thing together, and then it gets down to the final things, putting in the grommets and eyelets and all that stuff. So we're making pretty good progress. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it tomorrow. I really hope I can, but we'll see. You'll be there with me. Good morning. It is Sunday, second day of working on the sail, and I have a couple things just to prep this morning. I got the sewing machine out. We got the sail out. The other two are over around the corner by the pool. So I got a couple things to do this morning. I have another batten pocket to put in, but I can't put that in until I get the reef points all put in. So I cut out 6 4x4 squares to put in over 3 reef points, and then I have the actual patches to sew in on the edges. So that is my first thing to do, and then I can put the batten pocket in. The reefing points sewed on the sail, I think you can see them right there. Just 3 of the reefing points, and then I have 2 on the ends, which is what I've got on the table here. I've got to baste this all together and then sew it onto the sail. So I've got the luff reef point in place, except for the last stitch on the outside, which I'm going to wait to do that until after I assemble the sails, just because that one needs to go over both of them, both sail sections. And then here is the leech reef point, which I just basted down, and now I've got to sew it in. Batten pocket sewed in, both the reef points are sewed in. Now I'm getting to the bottom part of the sail, kind of assembly. Now these three pieces are based together, and the tack and the clue are the only pieces left. I need to baste them, sew them down, and then that's it. And let's see if we can get it done.